design. It's a 5,000-year-old system that they've worked out through trial and error. But the great thing is it's actually just a message, and you don't have to do it through acupuncture. You can give the body that same message, direct information to your cells, and it's much more efficient.
Without the needle. That was always my fear, the needle, man. All right, guys, we got Harry here today, founder of Energy for Life. Thanks for joining me today, man.
Thanks, Sean. It's great to be here.
Yeah, we did a fun little experiment yesterday, but could you first explain what Energy for Life is?
Yeah, Energy for Life is a company. It's there to restore humanity's energy for life, and it specializes in bioenergetics, which is the study of energy in living systems.
And you got into this because of your own personal health journey, right?
Yeah, when I was 21, I had these 3 accidents, and the first, I was ice climbing, fell, ended up fracturing my spine, although I didn't know I fractured my spine. Then I went out to the Alps 6 months later, got a fever. That turned out to be Epstein-Barr, which is known as like chronic fatigue syndrome. And then on my 3rd trip, after I'd already been fired from a job in London, I went back out to the Alps, was so exhausted, got stuck in a tent for 7 days, just eating dried bananas, drove myself back home, ended up enrolling in an MBA, which was pretty stupid. And then by the end of that MBA, I ended up in a wheelchair.
Jeez.
And then I basically ended up completely bedbound with full-on chronic fatigue syndrome.
And you were super young, right?
I was 21 at the time.
Wow. So to be bedridden, not able to move at 21, that must have been scary.
It was pretty rough, actually, because I'd been to university, was having a really hedonistic, active, amazing life. All my friends had, gone on to take all these great jobs. And then, I was basically the black sheep of the family with, no prospects and no hope at the time.
Crazy. And that lasted for years?
Yeah, it lasted for 7 years.
Jeez. Bedridden for 7 years.
Yeah.
And you're just looking for like a solution this whole time, or?
Yeah, the first few years I went down the traditional doctor route, and in England that's under the National Health Service. Got absolutely nowhere. I mean, they didn't know what was wrong with me. Ended up with, at the time, like the various functional medicine doctors, they put me on all these different IVs. I had like the lowest magnesium levels recorded in England at the time. And after around four or 5 years, I was like, well, this whole nutritional approach wasn't honestly getting me anywhere. So I tried every diet from like Gerson therapy, coffee enemas, homeopathy, acupuncture, all these different things. But unfortunately, I wasn't getting my energy back.
And that's when you discovered bioenergetics?
Yeah, I was introduced to this professor from Australia, and he's the first person to set up an acupuncture college in Australia that became part of Melbourne University. And he'd been mapping out the energy and information of the human body way, way beyond the traditional Chinese medicine system. And, I had a call with him because I just thought at the time, if I didn't have any energy, why not study where energy was coming from instead of studying where sickness comes from? Because the statistics when you're sick, like with something like chronic fatigue syndrome, once you've been bedridden for 2 years, basically the statistics are awful. Like 80% of people don't ever recover.
Wow.
So I just knew that wasn't a route. So I wanted to go the opposite way. And fortunately, well, he took this call and he said to me, well, I don't really know why I'm speaking to you, but I'm going to send you this fax. And he sent me a paper on quantum biology, of which I only understood around 10% of it. But when something like that happens, I knew there was something in it. And we built a relationship. He ended up emigrating from Australia to England, and we formed this R&D company at the same time that he was treating me with the things I was doing with you yesterday.
Interesting. So basically your body just had a bunch of energy blocks, or what exactly was going on with you?
So in the bioenergetics world, there's this principle of an energy control system. And in normal biology, we're all used to the chemistry control system. You eat a supplement, you take a drug, travels through your digestive system, liver, into the blood.
The Tri-Light from Therasage is no joke. Medical grade red and near infrared light with 3 frequencies per light, deep healing, real results, and totally portable. It's legit. Photo biomodulation tech in a flexible on-body panel. This is the Tri-Light from Therasage and its next level red light therapy. It's got 118 high-powered polychromatic lights, each delivering 3 healing frequencies, red and near infrared from 580 to 980 nanometers. Optimal penetration, enhanced energy, skin rejuvenation, pain relief, better performance, quicker recovery, and so much more. Therasage has been leading the game for over 25 years, and this panel is FDA listed and USB powered. Ultra soft and flexible and ultra portable. On-body red light therapy I use daily, and I take it everywhere I travel. This is the Thera O3 ozone module from Therasage. It's a portable ozone and negative ion therapy in one. It boosts oxygen, clears and sanitizes the air, and even helps your mood. It's a total game changer at home or on the go. This little device is the Thera O3 ozone module by Therasage, and it's one of my favorite wellness tools. In the sauna, it boosts ozone absorption through your skin up to 10 times, oxygenating your blood and supporting deep detox. Outside the sauna, it purifies the air, killing germs, bacteria, viruses, and mold, and it improves mood and sleep with negative ion therapy. It's compact, rechargeable, and perfect for travel, planes, offices, hotel rooms, you name it. It's like carrying clean energy wherever you go. This is the Thera H2 Go from Therasage, the only bottle with molecular hydrogen structured water and red light in one. It hydrates, energizes, and detoxes water upgraded. The Thera H2 Go from Therasage isn't just a water bottle. It's next level hydration. It infuses your water with molecular hydrogen, one of the most powerful antioxidants out there. That means less oxidative stress, more energy, and faster recovery. But here's what makes it stand out. It's the only bottle that also structures your water and adds red light to supercharge it. It's sleek, portable, and honestly, I don't go anywhere without it.
And a message gets through your cell, and has a particular chemical reaction. However, that's a really, really inefficient way of getting you better. And instead of doing that, you can direct a message directly into your cells using fields. And the basis of Peter's work is he'd actually mapped out all of the energy fields of the body.
Wow. So that's why acupuncture is so effective.
That's why. It's a 5,000-year-old system that they've worked out through trial and error. But the great thing is it's actually just a message, and you don't have to do it through acupuncture. You can give the body that same message, the direct information to your cells. And it's much more efficient.
Without the needle. That was always my fear, the needle, man. Got to penetrate like hundreds of needles in your body.
Well, also it's a bit inconvenient because you have to go and visit an acupuncture. And if you want to get really good results for acupuncture, you want to visit them a few times a week.
Right.
And then it's pretty effective. But to do that at home, it's not really practical.
Yeah. Might as well use this device, which you used on me yesterday. Could you actually explain what this is right here?
Yeah. So this device is called a MyHealth. And it does a few things. So one, it stimulates you electrically. 2, it'll broadcast a PMF field. But the third most important thing is from this map of all the fields of the body, you can directly put in the right message and the right information straight into what we call your body field or your body's energy control system, which is, as you say, it's like a replacement of the acupuncture points.
Yeah. And we'll throw up some B-roll footage of the test I did, but I basically spoke 1 through 10 out loud into your computer. We saw the issues going on with my body, and then you used this device on me to help, right?
Yeah. I mean, is it okay to share what came off in your scan?
Yeah.
Sure. So when we scanned Sean yesterday, it showed he had some adrenal fatigue, showed he had some low energy in his brain cavity, chest cavity. Also showed
liver anger, right?
Liver and anger, and basically overall stress, which is what you had been experiencing last week.
Yeah, I think as entrepreneurs, we just kind of put that to the side, but to see it on the paper like that extreme, because I was on the extreme end of this, really made me want to fix that. Yeah. So thank you, because I don't know how long it takes to feel the results, but I could be placebo, but I feel better already.
I mean, well, with this device, you basically feel better that day, and obviously the body is layered, and while you can affect the control system and you can feel calmer and feel more energy, so it does take a bit longer to get all the physical changes. but that's because your body's overall control system. When you correct that, physical changes like come over the next couple of months.
Nice. Yeah, it was really eye-opening for me just to speak into a computer and for that device to recognize everything going on with me. The future of medicine is exciting.
Oh yeah, it's pretty incredible where it's going.
Yeah, because imagine if you had that when you were bedridden at 21, you would have known pretty quickly what was going on, right?
Yeah, that's exactly the motivation. I mean, when I was that age, when I was 26, the idea that came into my head, because I couldn't go and travel to different doctors because I couldn't drive at the time, or I had to persuade my parents to drive me. And I just thought then, like, wouldn't it be great if there was a home wellness system that could just help you from the comfort of your own home? You know, that led to that initial scan that you did yesterday, and these infoceuticals, which are a way of putting information back into the body. But really, like, the long-term vision of that was to create a wearable where it's just always reading you 24/7 and always correcting you that information 24/7.
Wow. It's almost like it auto-corrects you. Like, you're typing and you get auto-corrected.
Yes, it's pretty much exactly like that. So in Chinese medicine, you can read your pulse, and there's 29 different pulses. So we worked out algorithms that will read that pulse in real time, and then exactly that, it auto-corrects based to your reading.
Wow. So walk us through how these infoceuticals work. What type of research has been done on these and the science behind it?
The research, there's about 14 different studies, but I'll tell you some of the latest. So University of California in San Diego, under Professor Hemal Patel. I met him at a Joe Dispenza event because he was doing research for Joe, and I think it was in 2021. He was doing all of this COVID research where he was able to show that meditation could reduce viral penetration rate into lungs. I went up to him and I said, well, that's great, but in your study, you're basically getting people to meditate 2 to 3 hours a day for months on end, and you're getting that result. What if you could just get that result by just delivering the information straight away? And he didn't believe me, but I sent him a bunch of infoceuticals to the university, and they sat on his shelf for around four or so months. And he eventually got around to it. He rang me up one day and he said, Harry, it actually works. So he basically got a culture of lung tissue, imprinted them with our infoceutical that helps the lung. And it had the same, well, it was a couple of percent better. It reduced the viral penetration rate by 40%.
Wow.
And then he said, why don't you go and send me some more infoceuticals? And what we're mostly concerned with is energy, because if you can restore people's energy, then people have enough energy to actually heal. So we then did all of these different culture tests on different organs, but mainly muscle tissue. And we were able to show that when you imprint muscle tissue, we can increase the mitochondrial density by another 50%, but you can also make the energy efficiency of a cell use like carbohydrates in a more efficient manner by 25%. And we're also able to protect the cell from ROS damage. ROS stands for reactive oxygen species, but basically they poison the cell and is able to protect the cell from that.
That is fascinating. All from this little vial, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, a particular one called Cell Driver, there's 76 of them.
Wow. That is so efficient too. Because before, I feel like people would need to spend way more money to address those issues, right?
Way more, right? You can spend thousands and thousands of dollars on blood tests to try and work out the root cause. You don't really know the root cause. Then after that, you could spend infinite money on stem cells, supplements, etc.
Yeah, stem cells are crazy expensive.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, and this is like, there's $35 a bottle. So
wow. So you can get the effects of stem cells in one of these?
I don't know if I should totally say that claim.
Yeah.
But in short, yes, you can rejuvenate cells.
Wow, that is so cool. Did want to talk about emotions too. Is it true emotions can drain your energy?
Absolutely. So I'll just go to like a fundamental principle of why energy matters so much for your health. So when you're looking at a cell, a healthy cell will produce 50 to 70 millivolts across the cell membrane. And when it lowers down to around 50 millivolts, you start getting all these different symptoms and diseases. And in short, the thing that you want to do is make your cell use
I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the show a lot with the algorithm. Thank you.
energy more efficiently, because if it's using energy more efficiently, you have more energy available. You have more energy available to heal. And one of the biggest drains, like we all think toxins, EMF, and different viruses burn up energy, and they do. But actually, the most significant thing that burns up your energy is stress and negative emotions. So for example, there's a study done by Yale University over 10 years, and they looked at lung cancer caused from smoking, but also anger. And what they found is all the smokers who scored highly with anger, they were the ones who actually got lung cancer and died. And all the ones that are actually in the more positive emotional states never actually got cancer.
Wow.
And so you might think like, well, we all think that smoking causes cancer. And it's not that smoking is good for you. It's totally not. But when the smoke enters your lungs, what it's actually doing, when you have a negative emotion, your DNA and RNA can't create repair proteins and excrete the toxins when you're in a negative state. But if you're in a positive state, all of your cells are basically able to excrete toxins and use energy more efficiently. So that's why negative emotions, or I should say the opposite, why positive emotions are so much more important.
That is so fascinating. It makes me think of alcohol too, because there's alcoholics that are drinking when they're depressed and angry, and it must do more damage when you're like that.
Oh yeah, well, it's a self-perpetuating cycle where you get worse and worse.
Wow. The power of the mind, huh?
Yeah.
That is so
That's
crazy. Right. Also on the opposite end, like there's good emotions, right? So like gratitude, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I mean, every like in Chinese medicine, every organ sort of has its opposite. So if we take the liver, for example, the liver in Chinese medicine is seen as the general, and it's all about being decisive. So what you want to do is cultivate decisions and decisiveness. And that, of course, gets rid of frustration and anger. Like the quicker you can get to a decision, the less frustration and angry you are. Or if you took like your spleen and pancreas, the negative emotion would be anxiety. But the positive side of anxiety is having faith or trust that things are going to work out. So, what this wearable is primarily doing, or one of the things it does, is it looks at those negative emotions, gives you awareness of them, and then it also puts in a bioenergetic signature that will help you be in that more positive state. But of course, just having that awareness and listening to a meditation to help transform that characteristic is massively helpful.
Wow. I think my spleen came up on the reading too yesterday. So that's anxiety.
Yeah, it's your pancreas, wasn't it?
Was it pancreas?
Pancreas.
Okay. But I'm sure you're seeing a lot of anxiety issues, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's a big one these days.
Yeah, it's one of the main ones for sure.
Damn. How does AI play a role in your systems? Are you using AI with your devices?
I mean, I've had the company 24 years, like when I originally met Peter. So it didn't start with AI. I mean, it started with literally trial and error and refining algorithms over a very, very long period. And of course, we've had this massive race in AI over the last couple of years. But what's really exciting is now we can take those vocal biomarkers, we can combine it with all your wearable data, with all the pulse data, and soon you can also upload all your blood lab results, and then that gives you a much, much more accurate reading of what's going on. But also the extra clever bit is you can see in real time what's affecting you, and it knows its treatments, or it knows the bioenergetic signatures that it's giving back to you, so it can continually refine it over time.
Wow. Have you seen anything offset the EMF?
Yeah, so in our world of what we call the body field, there's certain parts of the body field that get affected much more. And so in our thinking, instead of trying to like protect, what we do is actually just strengthen the damage to your body field. So we just put in the information that corrects that part of your body field, just making you resilient.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I think most of these devices, it's more about strengthening your own body field to be more resilient. Like the idea that it actually is blocking a wave. That's a misconception. That's not really true.
Yeah, that'd be hard to pull off, right? These towers are powerful.
Yeah,
we got a lot of
especially in your building.
You said there's 9 on the roof?
I just counted on the way in.
Oh my God.
You've got 14 individual bits, and then you've got a huge radar.
Oh my
Got an
God.
airport radar on the opposite.
That's insane. I wonder if that affected my results yesterday.
It's going to be affecting your body over time. And your liver, actually, it is quite sensitive to EMF.
Oh man, I'm here a lot. I got to figure out some solutions. Might have to take some of these.
Yeah.
Well, what's next for you? I know you're starting to sell this soon, right? In a few months. This device.
Probably the biggest things. This wearable is coming out in basically in mid-May. Actually, there's a new version of this device coming out too.
I love it.
Yeah.
We'll put the link below. I highly recommend it, guys. I had a really pleasant experience. It was seamless, pretty easy. Sometimes people really fear going to the doctor and everything, but I feel like with your stuff, it's a lot different than Western medicine.
The whole concept for us is it's not about the symptom or what's wrong with you. What we're looking at is how is someone when they're optimal, or when their control system is working properly, and we just look at the differences. So we're always just helping you to optimize your overall body's control system.
Right. And you want to help billions with this.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be beautiful.
From a societal level, without, I can go down into it, but like the healthcare system, if I go back to like Rockefeller, Rockefeller, unfortunately, because they wanted to find a market for all of their drugs and chemicals, basically started banning, like using regulation, discrediting different scientists and doctors. And that's why we've got a whole system today that's built on biochemistry. But if you use a field-based system, there's so many advantages. One, you're not putting any extra chemicals or toxicity. And even supplements, I know probably the supplement industry will hate me, but I'll say it anyway. For example, if you take turmeric, like turmeric's a great anti-inflammatory, but if you use it every single day, it'll lower a male's testosterone by 32%.
God dang it.
So obviously you don't.
I literally take that one every day.
I really, yeah, don't.
Dang.
Just take it when you're inflamed.
Okay.
Yeah,
good to know.
Yeah, you don't want to take it every day. But every single thing you put in your body, it always has a second or third order effect. So from our point of view, if you might as well just use a message. Well, here's the bottom line. You want to find out which part of your control system is going wrong or isn't optimal. Correct that. And of course, it does change over time. And if you're just giving a message without a chemical, you can correct that part of your body's control system without getting any of that toxicity and side effects. So from an overall societal level, it means a much, much cheaper healthcare system. It's also much more effective. And there's really, there's no harm. There's way, way less risk of, flooding your body with chemicals.
I love that. That's beautiful. What other client transformations have you seen other than your own journey?
Oh, like thousands, but I can give some examples. So we also did like research into skin. So at the university, you can basically create a skin graft and cut it, and we've seen how it can repair skin in a much, much faster manner.
Wow!
But on a personal level, so we had someone with like such severe psoriasis that all of their arms and bodies were completely and utterly red. They'd had it for 7 years, almost. Well, they told us they were basically giving up on their life because it was so painful.
Jeez.
Just 3 weeks of using Infoceuticals, it all cleared, and so they came back.
Wow.
Or there's an example of a pony with a completely open wound, been using antibiotics and everything to heal the wound, couldn't heal the wound. And this was using this device, but basically able to heal the wound in a couple of weeks.
Wow. And that's big for animals to be able to use this too.
Animals, it's a lot easier with animals. The problem with humans is we also have the nocebo effect. Like if you don't believe something or you're all negative about it, unfortunately, you can counter results.
Really?
Well, in any therapy, because it's just like that. Lung cancer study, I said, the dog, a dog or animal, they don't have any concept of what you're doing.
They don't know what's going on.
They don't believe it. They don't not believe it. So when you do it, it's
wow.
It's actually more effective with that.
I didn't know how powerful nocebo was.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
Dang. So even if you're doing it on someone, but he doesn't believe it could work, his brain.
They're very skeptical. Yeah, I mean, it's fine to be neutral. You just want to be like having an open skepticism, but being neutral is fine. But there are people who are sick who go from practitioner to practitioner, therapy to therapy. I was probably one of those. I was 21 to 25, 26, so I discovered this, and people are almost like, well, see, you can't cure me, but like they're defeating themselves, unfortunately.
Wow. So what happened with your spinal injury? Did you have to do any surgery or anything?
That was pretty interesting. So I had the climbing accident, and then 2 years later I was paragliding. I had another accident, hit the ground, was rushed off to hospital, and they said, well, you didn't break anything today, but it looks like your spine was fractured from that climbing accident.
Yeah.
I was basically in a lot of back pain for years and years. And that was actually the reason I wanted to create this device. Created the voice scan, the Infoceuticals first. But yeah, the great thing with this device, because it'll put energy directly into that part of the body, but it'll also remind your nervous system and your brain that there's a problem with that area. So it'll trigger a healing response directly in that area. So yeah, I mean, it was literally this.
Wow. So your spine's all healed now?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Because I know people get these spinal fusions and all these crazy procedures.
Yeah. You do. Yeah.
and then sometimes you can't ever walk again once you get those.
Yeah, no, I was lucky. I never had surgery, so it made it easier to heal.
Wow. Well done, man. Well, what's the next step for you here? What are you looking to do next?
I mean, for us, we're basically fusing in all the AI with our voice scan, with the wearable, bringing out to market. And there's one other project that's pretty interesting. We've been making a whole personalized medbed, and with that similar idea, but you can take the voice scan and the wearable data, walk up to a medbed, and because it knows precisely what's going on with you, it'll put in the right wavelengths and the right information straight into the tissues. And then to help the emotional effect, you then listen to a personalized meditation.
Wow.
That'll basically take you through each of those organs that come up in the scan. So you get the visualization hypnosis effect, you get the energy from the light, from the PMF, but you also get the right instructions to your body to heal.
That is beautiful. I wonder what that would look like with someone with depression.
I mean, it'll basically, I mean, with depression, often with depression, I mean, it's because people have sort of lost, like, they don't quite know what to do. But it's very hard to get out of depression when you're very, very low in energy. So yeah, absolutely putting enough energy into the body, but also taking on that visualization journey. Is massively
that's a good point, because yeah, a bit depressed and you start sleeping like 12 hours a day because you don't have energy.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get it back.
Yeah.
So that makes me wonder if our bodies have a finite amount of energy, or you could just constantly replenish it.
That's an interesting point. So like your body is an overall energy exchange system. So like I was saying yesterday about walking, if you go outside, there's a lot of energy from sunlight. Gentle walking, because you're breathing in oxygen, breathing out carbon dioxide, that helps build your energy. If you go barefoot, well, there's more extreme versions of barefoot. You can go in an ozone sauna, will put a lot of negative electrons in you. So as a general principle, the more you can recharge your body with energy and make that energy more efficient, the healthier you'll be.
That's why some doctors tell their patients to just walk outside in nature.
Oh yeah.
Right. I've heard that a few times.
Yeah. Or swimming in the sea is the sea is amazing.
The ocean.
Because the sun is hitting structured water. When the sun hits all of that salt water, it'll create more free electrons in the water. So you're basically bathing in this sea of free electrons.
Wow. That makes sense, because when I go in the ocean water, I feel amazing.
Oh yeah. No, it's literally one of the best ways. Like grounding, walking barefoot is nothing compared to swimming in this.
Really? Yeah. I used to be a fan of grounding, but then the whole parasite thing scared me in the grass.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Like if a cow poops and then you start walking around.
I know.
You never heard of that?
No.
Parasites can enter your feet.
Oh, God.
Oh, sorry for breaking the bad news.
I've got a dog. Dogs are full of parasites.
But I'm sure with these devices, these probably help with parasites too.
I mean, in the end, whether it's like virus, fungus, or parasites, the stronger your own body, the more you can resist them anyway.
That's good to know. Well, Harry, it's been awesome. We'll throw up some footage of my scanning and everything and make some clips. Anything else you want to close off with?
If people want to try out the voice scan, they can just go to e4l.com/voice, and you can try out the whole AI voice scan for yourself.
Definitely try it, guys. All you got to do is speak 1 through 10, and it tells you a bunch of important information. Cool. We'll link it below. Thanks for coming on.
Cool.
Check them out, guys. See you next time.